The acting Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetokun, said personnel of the police mobile force will be withdrawn from VIP's escort and guard duties. Egbetokun said the force will re-evaluate the responsibilities of the PMF to ensure their effective utilization. He noted that while the protection of dignitaries remains paramount, it is imperative that the force will realign its priorities to address the escalating security challenges faced by the nation as a whole. The IGP said a special committee headed by Deputy Inspector General of Police Operations had been set up to assess and advise on how this strategy could be implemented seamlessly. According to him, the committee is expected to submit its report in 2 weeks, after which further details will be made available. Joining me now for his perspective on this development is a retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, Tunji Alapinni. Chief Alapinni was regarded as one of the finest police officers in the country. Greetings, Chief Alapinni, and good to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Nice being with you.
Well, Chief Alapinni, the big issue here is that every Inspector General of Police that comes into office, from MD Abubakar and even before MD Abubakar, when they get in, they will say, oh, we will remove, mobile policemen from escorting VIPs. Even when in police regulation, there's something called VIP protection. At least someone in the villa, when I was there, told me that there are courses for policemen in that regard. So the new IGP is also saying that he will work on that and he will remove policemen from protecting very important personalities and carrying the bags of their wives. What's your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction, if we want to talk about the past Inspector General of Police who issued similar statements, I think we judge the book by the cover. They've said this, we can assess their tenor, we can assess their statement, and we can make up our mind, form an opinion about what they've said. This is a new Inspector General of Police. Let us, we cannot judge him or react to his statement until we see how he performs. For now, I think, like you said, it has been a recurring decimal. From MD Abubakar to from Hafiz Ringim, from all the past IG saying the same thing. If I can remember, when they say most of these things, they will say they want to remove the mobile policemen escorting VIPs. It was based on that the Special Protection Unit was set up, SPU. Maybe you notice the mobile policemen, they wear green beret. The SPU, they wear blue beret. That was the purpose for setting it up. But at the end of the day, you find those individuals having both mobile, SPU, and if you check again, you even find some of them with anti-terrorism, those wearing red cap. But this is a new Inspector General of Police. Let's give him a chance. He said he's given 2 weeks to work out modalities, how to perfect all these things. I won't be surprised if he has something up his sleeves, because this is somebody I have known over the years. When it comes to being meticulous, he's always meticulous in his job. Let's see whether he can carry this on to his new assignment.
Chief Alapinni, the Nigerian police. The Inspector General of Police is new. He has made a number of pronouncements. But we have seen, within less than 2 weeks of his appointment, policemen using their vehicles to run down a man in the eastern part of Nigeria, just because the man was resisting arrest. They decided to use their vehicle to run him aground. Is that part of police regulations? We have also seen a video that we saw, in the last few days of policemen carrying guns, protecting a man who was going to slaughter a cow. Is this also part of a police function? To protect cow, to threaten human beings. When what we have been told is that the police is your friend. The police is not just no longer our friend. The police is no longer the friend of even animals. What went wrong? You were in that service. You rose to the highest level. What went wrong? What does police regulation tell us about what you have witnessed?
Well, I'm happy we are in an era where nothing is hidden. That scandalous and callous behavior about a policeman running a vehicle over an individual somewhere in Nepoma or somewhere is horrendous. And I'm happy the Inspector General has swung into action and is taking prompt action on that. Since they are taking action, let's leave it at that. But whoever has done that must know that he's not a human being. He has no respect for human being. Then we find policemen escorting, like you said, ram. I think it is getting to a scandalous level, embarrassing level, where we have a service in which I retired 14 years ago. We find somebody going to slaughter a ram, and we have up to about 6-7 policemen armed, escorting the man to go and, I don't know. Whoever is even recording that video, what is the man even trying to show? We've seen a lot of all these kind of abnormalities. And I think the present Inspector General has a duty to try and to show to members of the public that it's a new breed and that he can curb all this thing. Until he does that, we all continue to watch and see. Ordinarily, you find those who are not hitherto entitled to most of these escorts. I'll give you an example. When I was rushing down for your program, on the 3rd Milan Bridge, I saw somebody driving one Range Rover, Rolls Royce, red and white on this thing. Stopped. It's like, I don't know whether you have experienced central bank going with bullion van, where they stop people on the highway, that there are only people going. That was how that was about after 1 today, this Sunday. Stopped vehicle on the highway, nobody can park, they were all coming behind. This man was going with a lot of escort. I'm sure he's not a president, he's not a governor. Going in a Range Rover and a Rolls Royce, red and white. I was on the other side of the road, and other vehicles were just falling behind. I felt ashamed of myself. I said, this is the problem. I think the IG has to do something about this. Ordinarily, I've told him some time ago, when he was promoted IG, look, if you want to stop all this thing, go to Harbour Point every weekend. Go and see where they have parties. You will see the number of policemen escorting those, you'll be wondering who they are. Go to the bridge. Even ordinarily, don't go far. Come to this Lekki Toll Bridge, Ikoyi Bridge, from the beginning to the end. Station men there. You will see a lot of escorts, escorting people you cannot even imagine, going up and down. I've had calls to call commissioners of police in respect of some of these things in Lagos. And some of them have taken action. Some of them, I'm a thorn in their flesh. I'm disturbing them. There was even a time we find some miscreants from, if you know this environment very well, that is the Lekki Ikoyi Toll Bridge. From the Ikoyi end, there's Milverton. Some people will ride from Okada from the Milverton end and try to climb that bridge, then go straight under the bridge. I've been wondering, anytime I'm going, they will come on a one-way on the other side of the road and meet you at the roundabout and go down under the bridge at the end, at the Ikoyi end. I called a commissioner of police. I said, look, something is going on under that bridge. Go and check. He came back to me about a week later. I said, Oga, we've checked nothing. I said, my friend, anytime I'm coming from the mainland back home, when I get to that roundabout, I'll see about 2 or 3 coming in from that Roxton Road, coming onto the main road one way onto the bridge, but instead of climbing the bridge, they go straight under the bridge. 2 weeks after, he called back. He said, "Oga, thank you very much, sir. We went there to raid the place. We recovered over 60 Okadas from under there." I said, "Very good." So I left him. So those are some of the things I would try to tell. And just at that tail end of the bridge, we have an armored vehicle with a patrol team there. At the Lekki end, we have the same thing. So if we have this thing, I think what we need to do about some of these things is to have people who will be monitoring them. That's why we have the provost. We have monitoring units. We have some officers who are supposed to go around to monitor all these abnormalities. Until we have this one done, I think people, like you rightly said, will continue to say the new IG is just making a statement.
Okay, Chief Alapinni, there are other issues that I would like you to address. The new Inspector General of Police has given out a number of directives, apart from removal of, protection of VIPs. He has talked, for example, about the duplication of investigations, which he says frustrates the criminal justice administration system from the police end, whereby cases are transferred from one police station to another or from one state to another. And he has also said that police officers who collude with lawyers to frustrate the administration of justice system will be sanctioned accordingly. And then he has also talked about promotion and welfare. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
I didn't hear you well there.
No, I was talking,
well.
I was drawing your attention to some of the directives that have been given by the Acting Inspector General of Police. One, about duplication of investigations resulting in conflict, resulting also in policemen colluding with lawyers. And he says that will be dealt with, decisively. He has also talked about promotion and welfare for police officers, particularly those in the rank and file. What advice will you be giving him as someone who was his senior in the service? Okay,
yes, I agree with you. When we say policemen colluding with lawyers, we had this problem some time ago, and I recommended to the police authorities at that time that there is no point in me reporting a case against Reuben Abati at Onikom police station. When Reuben discovers that the case is coming to a closure, Reuben runs to Zone 2 to go and report the same case or similar case to Zone 2. So case that is being investigated by Onikom police station will move to Zone 2. If it's going on there, if I'm not satisfied, and I see that Zone 2 is trying to maybe plus, in quote, turn it in favor of Reuben Abati, I too will run to Abuja to go and tell the 4th CID and make a petition there. I recommended to them. I said, look, if anybody is making and writing a petition to the police, there must be a caveat at the bottom line that this case has not been reported at any police station. And that if it is discovered that this matter has been reported, this man should be charged for that offense. I don't know whether they bought the idea. That's why you find a case, I've seen so many cases that are reported at a police station. At the end of the day, they go to the commissioner of police, the case is now at the CID. From CID, it's now at the zone. The same case is now at the zonal CID. Before you know it, it is at the 4th CID. There should be a caveat. For any case that you are reporting, you should sign at the bottom that this case has never been reported at any police station. If they now discover it has been reported at any police station, I think the best thing is to find a way to deal with such individual. Whether under our laws we have so many things, you can say giving false information, you can find anything, but make sure that there is a sanction for such behavior. And it goes along the same thing with lawyers. Lawyers would advise their client, okay, I know somebody, I know the AIG in Zone 2. let us go and petition and transfer the case to Zone 2. That all those ones, they should find a way internally to resolve it. That, like I said, let us put a caveat on that. If it is discovered that the same case that is being reported the second time at any station has been reported somewhere there, action must be taken on whoever is making that kind of complaint. As regards welfare, I think the welfare issue has been a recurring decimal. And I think the force has to actually look at what they meant by welfare. I remember when I was the AC operations during Shino Rambo. We know that welfare is such that we have to take care of men, even if we, like people we post on duties. The commissioner of police then, I discussed with him, I said we cannot post men on the road to be there from morning to night and not caring for their welfare. Caring for them, at least that is basic welfare. I said we have to set up team to be going to every area within Ogun State. Tell the governor from whatever information money we have, get, if it is water, dry, what we call dry ration, get dry ration. If it is once a day, you should go and give those individuals to be there. Those individuals, we appreciate the fact that those that they are working for, those that are leaders, their leaders, are not forgetting about them. But the situation is such that you will post somebody to anywhere now, he's just there. Abandon him, they post him there for a week, he's abandoned there. We look at what do you mean by welfare? Is it the welfare of that man there, or we're talking about total welfare of the welfare package to make sure that they receive better salary? So we look at holistically what we're talking about welfare in terms of taking care of men who are operational and who are even working to ensure that security is maintained.
Okay, Chief Alapinni, I have two questions, quickly. The first one is, why is there so much gap between the senior officers and the rank and file in the police? One of the things that Kayode Egbetokun says he wants to do is to provide training, to put emphasis on professionalism. But we only see that professionalism, from our own experience, from among the ranks of the senior officers who have degrees, triple degrees, educated people like your good self. So why is it that your boys just behave like they belong to, you know, a Togri group? Is it a problem with the curriculum at the police college, the police colleges, which Egbetokun is talking about? And then the second question, if you can take the two together, is that a policeman, for the third time in Nigerian history, is now the National Security Advisor. His name is Nuhu Ribadu, following the footsteps of Gambo Jimeta and also Aliyu Guazo. So you now have a policeman as National Security Advisor of Nigeria. Previously, he had been chairman of EFCC. What is that in terms of symbolism for the police?
Well, like you said, the training, when we talk about training, the men, our first discussion, have been dissipated by wrong utilization of the personnel. So when you get all this personnel being attached to VIPs, who are those you want to now train to now be able to have this orientation we're talking about? In those good old days, we used to have the NCOs, the rank and file and inspectors attending what we call orientation course. Every 3 months, they must attend orientation course. At times, every 6 months, they must attend orientation course. But now, the personnel are more interested in doing guard duties because, according to them, they stand to benefit more from guard duty than from the system in which they are. And I think until we try to put things in its right perspective, that, okay, we are talking about removing guards from VIPs. what they want to put in place. VIPs, they have to be protected. The officers have to be protected. Policemen have to carry out their responsibilities. You set up a special protection unit. Special protection unit, now, from what I heard last week, the IG is setting up what we normally have in those good old days, quick intervention unit, QIU. So if you are now having the normal conventional police, you are having PMF, Police Mobile Force, you have a special protection unit, you are now setting up QIU. Where are you going to get all the personnel to be able to form, to man, to populate all these outfits? I think it's best for us to, first of all, make up our mind what we want to do as far as this is concerned. Let us ensure, if we want to reduce the number of wastages in terms of manpower for VIPs that are not hitherto entitled to most of these policemen, let us make up our mind about that and fashion out whether the supernumerary policemen who were normally expected to be taking care of such extraneous job can do that job. We'll look at it, but I don't want to preempt the setting up of a committee to look at a way to ameliorate this problem in his 2 weeks existing. But whatever it is, I think he should, first of all, sit down before he rolls out any kind of system that he wants to bring out. He should, first of all, look at it properly and work it out. For Nuhu Ribadu being a policeman and NSA, well, we used to have Shinkafi was there as NSA, was retired as a policeman. Guazo was there, retired as a policeman. And if I can remember, Gambo Jimeta was there, retired as a policeman. But we have to understand one thing. Those individuals I've mentioned, they all went and experienced and grew through the ranks. In the sense that you will find Shinkafi, Gambo Jimeta, and others, when they were ASP, they went through the ASP cadre line. When they promoted DSP, they went through the DSP cadre line. They went through the job description for those ranks. When they were superintendent, they went through the job description for that line. When they were chief superintendent of police, they went through the job description for that line. When they became assistant commissioner of police, they went through the job description of that line. When they became deputy commissioner of police, they went through the job description of that line. When they became commissioner of police, they went through the job description of that line. They headed commands. They headed most of what you can think of before they became IG and NSA. And I think when it comes to that, I want to leave my comment on that. It is not an aberration that you have a policeman on ground there, but my explanation will suffice to say.
Okay, 2 more things before we wrap this up, Chief Alapinni. Number 1, new service chiefs in place. They've been talking about tinkering with the security architecture. What is this security architecture? We had it for 8 years. They are always tinkering with security architecture. Just like when Nigerian government tells us something is in the pipeline. no pipeline, functioned until militants began to look for what it is that is in that pipeline. What is this mythology about security architecture?
Security architecture. Well, everybody is using the current balance of the moment, security architecture. Like I said, I served 35 years and I retired 14 years ago. So most of those officers, I don't know them. The only officer I think I've had cause to come across, besides the Inspector General of Police and General Lagwaja, I met him at Uyo when he was commander in the brigade commander in Uyo. And I told one of my colleagues, a general and one admiral, who was with me when we visited him in the office. We were talking with him. He was listening, he was attentive, was respectful and listening to us and taking notes about what we were talking about. And at the end of the day, He gave us his number and he said, sir, any way you think you can be of help to assist me in my job, please let us know. And I looked at the general and the admiral with me. I said, this man will go a long way. If this man who is a brigadier general has known so much and is still willing, having a place in his brain to learn about more things from those who have retired, I said he will go a long way. When he was made chief of army staff, one of the general called me and said, Tunji, are you a prophet? This Lagbaja that you are joking at, that whether he's a musician, he's now the chief of army staff. I said, fine. Secondly, let me just go down memory lane that was made IG. I remember the president now was governor of Lagos State. I was commissioner of police air wing in 1999, 2000. And we were very close. We go around. Then occasionally we were now talking. I said, look, that was not the time when we don't have drones that you can use to take photographs. Then I said, Your Excellency, that is our president now, let's go around Lagos State. I said, Tunji, if you can take me, I will find. I said, okay, let's go around Lagos State so that you can map out your strategy and in terms of security and development. He agreed. And about two or three times, we went around up to Badagry. He was taking notes and everything. At the end, he said, Tunji, thank you. You have helped my work. I'll be able to know where to bridge, where there's a bottleneck, where to make all this one. I think with that action by Jagaban, by the president, as at that time, as a governor, if he can be strategic enough to do such as a governor, I don't think he will fail in his present course, because I know him. Maybe he must have plugged some connection along the line. He will still utilize the same method in which he used to form RRS and other things to do the larger part of the nation in terms of getting security. He will know how to handle his service chiefs. That is his responsibility. And if anyone that he's not satisfied with, I know before you know what is happening, Jagaban will fire him. So the situation when it comes to architecture, it's left for individual to say what he meant by security architecture. I know the problem is there. I know we have security problem. Everybody will come out and say, look, this is what I plan to do. If this is what they plan to do, let them activate it. If they cannot activate anything to ensure that we have, we can sleep with both eyes closed, my brother, there's always pen and paper to say,
Chief Alapinni, retired AIG, just before we wrap this up, one question. Tomorrow morning, the Nigerian military has directed.
Hello?
I said tomorrow morning, the Nigerian military has directed that about 100 generals, air vice marshals, brigadier generals, and all of that, who are above cost 39, must submit their resignation, following the fact that the new service chiefs, they are below cost 39. What could be the implications for morale, for national security? Because I've seen some people saying that's like crumbling the Nigerian military. What do you think?
It is rather unfortunate. It is a great wastage. And I'm not sure we have a pool of senior officers that are reserved to be used. These are officers who are trained at government expense, trained professionals. Just because somebody has been put on top, I think we have to review this system. We can't waste a general, about 100 generals to go, just because somebody else has been elevated to a certain level. I will have to look at that system and work out something. It's disheartening when anytime I look at that and I say, because somebody has been promoted over and above his superiors, others can go. But if you cannot follow the normal climbing the ladder of saying, okay, who is the next person to be there, and we'll still have to go on because of this our federal geopolitical zone, federal character on quota and everything. If we have to go into that, I think we should be able to find a means of curbing this wastage. curbing these excesses of wasting so many able hands that can be of great service to this nation. I still wonder where they want us to go, what they want them to go to after retiring. It's a different thing if they have reached their peak where they have to retire and they cannot be on the reserve list. But they are still hardworking and they are still there to work. I think we have to have a rethink. They should set up another committee to look at what could be done to ameliorate that kind of a situation. Well, it's disheartening and it's dangerous for security.
Well, on that note, I would like to